Hello, fellow YouTubers, and welcome back to Power Up Gamers. I'm Driven D&D, the Disabled DM, and today I'm doing something a bit different. I'm going to be taking some time to play a World of Warcraft, something I don't get a chance to do very often. And, and but I wanted to kind of record a video because I had a previous chat with a guest about World of Warcraft. And I occasionally want to offer something outside of tabletop RPGs and kind of compare it to tabletop RPGs and what I like and don't like about each thing. So I figured I would do a playthrough and kind of talk about different things. So let's get started. Uh, I will share my screen, and so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we have the login screen after you enter your account, and you can see I have numerous characters of various levels. But we are going to create a new character. Now, the first thing you have is your gender. You can pick male or female. I tend to pick male character just because I'm a guy, and for me, it's kind of easier to get into the feel of it. World of Warcraft has some very nice graphics, some good storylines, much like uh, you would find in tabletop RPGs, although I think tabletop RPGs are better because you're not locked into a particular story line that's pre-written for you, other than what the DM chooses to write. And you're more free to imagine how things look instead of it just being presented within the program, so to say. Hey. So the next step is you have alliance or horde to pick from and your race. Now, I tend to usually pick alliance because I know, the alliance quest line's better. And each of these races have different starting areas, different quests, different classes. They can be some classes aren't available to certain races, which is a bit different than tabletop RPGs because you can pick pretty much any class for any race. So tabletop RPGs allow a bit more options. And there are some tricks for leveling. And like if I started as a Death Knight per se, I would start at like level 55 instead of level 1. But I don't want that. And this is different. And there's different reasons for this. One, I played through the Death Knight classes so many times that it's not as much fun for me. It's also oh, takes about half of the game out, which I don't do a lot in the lower levels anymore because I tend to level so fast, having played this for 6, 7 years, that I've learned basically where you need to go, etc. Now, each race has different standards and abilities that are given to them. Um, and you can see you have your pretty common races. It's human, dwarf, elf or night elf, gnome, Draenori, which, which is kind of interesting. It's almost a space alien type race. Your Rogan, which is a werewolf, and then they have a Pandaren, which is basically a big panda. Then on the horde side, you have Orc. You have Undead, which in tabletop RPGs is normally a monster race and not available to play. You have your Tauren, which we would think of as a minotaur. You have your Troll. You have a Blood Elf, which is pretty much same as a Night Elf, except for different racial abilities. And you have Goblin, which is also kind of neat. So I am just going to pick a human, mostly because humans start in an area near Sturman, which is one of the major cities in World of Warcraft. You have Sturman, Ironforge, Shatra, on for Alliance, and then you have some on Horde side. But being used to Alliance, I want to pick an Alliance race, and I'm gonna pick human just because it takes me to Sturman, which is basically the big city that everyone hangs out in, trades, stuff like that. Then in class, you have classes and they each have their own abilities. And they're pretty standard classes. Everything from warrior to druid. They do include shaman, which is not typical for tabletop RPGs. And they have Death Knight, which is almost the same as a warrior, just a different lore, or a bit more savage. So if barbarians used heavy armor, that would be about what a Death Knight would be like. My favorite two classes is Paladin and Hunter. Paladin, obviously, because they get better defense. They're able to hold their own pretty easy. Hunter I like because you get your animal companion, which attacks with you. They're pretty fast. They do really good in battlegrounds at low levels, also if you know how to use them. They range, so while your pet's holding off the enemy, you are basically able to attack from a distance. So we will go ahead and pick Hunter. Then you click on Customize, and you basically can can pick what they look like. Skin color's fine. I'm not too picky. Face is fine. Hairstyle I am changing because I don't like being bald. Hair color, I'm gonna change to black. And racial hair, let's go with that. And then you get to pick your name. You can randomize your name. I'm gonna go with Pyrobo because, as you can see, I use a lot of Mac, which is short for Macar, which is a joke between some of my friends I used to play on World of Warcraft with. It's about being the maker, creator type deity. Because at the time I was one of those who was really into World of Warcraft. I knew all the tricks, but that's been years and years. And then I use Pyro a lot because that's one of my nicknames growing up. So let's go ahead and hit enter a world. And it takes a moment to load, partially because my computer's a little bit on the slow side. Especially considering I have Hangouts open, I have various tabs in my browser, and I also have World of Warcraft open, which is a lot of strain on my computer. But it can handle it fine. I just have to be careful what tabs I have open up. Now you'll notice my sound on the game's turned off. And that's partially because I haven't had the chance to adjust the volume yet, and I wanted people to be able to hear me talking. You'll see it's running through a really nice cutscene in kind of an introduction, and you can skip this by pressing escape if you wish. It's pretty interesting to hear it being played. So here we are at the start. I'm first going to go into my game menu, and you can see they have a spot for help, a spot for the shop. They tell you what's new, the system, interface, key bindings, macros, add-ons, all that. Now, I'm not going to be adjusting much, but I am going to go to System, Sound. I am going to turn down the master volume, and I'm going to enable sound. And return to game. Now, that should have gave me a sound, but I'm not hearing nothing. And the reason for that is it's on system default instead of my headphones and my speakers. So I'm going to click my speakers. Is- And now we should hit the background sounds and music. So now we have a character made. Not a lot of customization. So the next step, I'm gonna go into character info. It shows my name, a title that I have, and then my gear, which right now I don't have hardly anything because I'm starting a new character. Okay, I need to turn down the volume a little bit more. There we go. Because I want to be able to hear myself and not the music. Going to look at is my abilities. Now you'll see a lot is grayed out, and that's because I'm not a high enough level to have those. Right now, I have Arcane Shot, which when I use it, it instantly causes 9 arcane damage. I have the ability to call my pet and to heal my pet. And those are the hunter abilities. I also have some general abilities. And there's your automatic attack. You have every man for himself, which is an instant cast ability with a 2-minute cooldown. And it removes all movement and impairing effects, such as we would think of entangle or paralyze, stun, things like that. But then I have armor skills, which shows me where I can enter. Hunters is unlike tabletop RPGs. Is you can't begin out with chainmail. You can only wear cloth and leather until level 40. Then you can train to wear mail, which is similar to chainmail. And then at level 50, you receive a 5% increase to your primary stat for wearing mail, which is pretty nice. You have diplomacy, which just increases your reputation gain. You have languages, which is for human is common. You have human and spirit, which is a passive. It increases your versatility, in this case by 1, but it scales with level. And then you have your weapon skills, which hunters perform the best with bows, crossbows, and guns, but they can also equip axes, daggers, fist weapons, forearms, staffs or staves, and swords. I normally stick with a bow. Mainly because bows have longer distance per se than crossbows, and I don't really like the sound effect of the gun. And to me, it's kind of annoying. And you also have professions. And there's a lot of professions to pick from, but you can't pick them to basically level 10. And then you have what they call secondary professions, which is archaeology, fishing, cooking, and first aid. So we have our basic setup. So I'm going to take the first quest. Now, the quests are similar to plot hooks irks, irks and storyline in tabletop RPGs. They're not as involved. They're usually real fast to deal with. Now, one thing I will say is is they give the little log that you can see I have pulled up, and it tells you basically what you're to do and what reward or you'll get for it. Like in this case, I'll receive 50 copper or 500 experience and a belt. Oh, I'm gonna accept this. Most of the time, I don't bother reading these, and there's two reasons for that. First, I have a tracker right here that tells me basically what I need to do. Oh, so I don't really have to read the quest to know what I'm doing. Plus, I've done these quests as a lot. You'll notice on the mini map up here, I have a couple things. The tracking in is available for everyone. Gatherer is an add-on that I have that basically remembers where I get stuff like herbs, stuff like that. Ask Mr. Robot is also an add-on on and basically what I can do is I can export my character. I can input gear options, and I can optimize both within a team and my own gear. Now, by optimize, I don't mean I can automatically change gear. It will show me what is the best gear available in the game for my level, which is kind of nice to do and to have. Now, one thing with World of Warcraft, it does not use the arrow keys unless you change your key bindings. It uses the WASD to move or to turn and go forward and backwards. You can't really move left or right without changing direction. And you'll see a bunch of NPCs here. So let's go over to the NPCs. You'll see I have an armorer, a merchant, a general supply merchant, etc. All the pretty standard things. Now for your attacks, you'll see you have a toolbar down here with your skills. They also have numbers for each slot, and you can activate it by pressing the number or by clicking on the icon. I usually click on the icon because it's faster for me. So my first quest is to kill 6 of these wolves. Now you'll see that my pet attacked also, which is good. And you'll notice if I don't press anything in it, it, it will attack automatically once I right click on an enemy. I can also use my skills to make the fight go faster. And, and this is the basic start of World of Warcraft. Not as much fun as a tabletop RPG, but you're interacting with people, although I could be in a group if I chose to do so. Oh, but at this level, there's really no point in it. And and this is basically what you do. You keep fighting and fulfilling your quests. So we'll kill this last one real quick. And you'll see after a creature is dead, it has this little sack icon and it sparkles. That means it has something that I can loot. And I have auto loot on, so it picks it up really fast. And auto loot's available for everyone. So I go back to the NPC that gave me the quest. I right click on him to turn it in. I hit complete and and you'll see the gold glow that just happened means I leveled up to level 2. Just off of the first quest. And it would go faster and you'll see down at the bottom where these purple bars are, it means I'm not rested, and that's how much experience I have towards my next level. So I not only did I hit level 2, but I gained almost half of what I needed for level 3 off of one quest. Which is pretty nice. Now when that bar is blue, it means you're rested and you get extra experience. And you can rest by hanging out in town or another inn. So we will take the next quest. Now you'll see I have some garbage that I picked up off of those wolves, but I also have this belt. I'm gonna equip the belt because I don't have one. Have a hearthstone. And what the hearthstone does whenever it's not on cooldown, it allows you to teleport to a location. In this case, it would bring me back here because this is the only location I've been in. Normally, I set this as first tournament, which I'll do when I get that for. And it allows me to teleport back to a town no matter where I'm at in the game. So my next quest is to go back in this area and you'll see these looking creatures that are neutral. Well, those are the guys I need to kill. So, or I right click on them and you'll notice that they change from neutral or hostile as soon as I click on them. Okay, I'm gonna go into my interface, and you'll see my auto loop for some reason got turned off. So I'm gonna turn that back on and say okay, and return to game. And this is basically all you do to level 10. And you do the beginning area quests. Yes, and along the way you'll visit Goldshire, which is a little village near the starting area, and then you'll go to Sturman. And you'll hit Sturman well before level 10. Now, at level 10, different things open up. Like, you'll have your specialization and talents. You'll have your guild finder. If you want to join a guild, you'll have a group finder under image. You can join a random group for a dungeon, which is a good way to level and get some decent gear. I recommend, and for dungeons, and if you are new to World of Warcraft and MMOs online playing, and that you pick it going in as DPS, which is basically you just attack and try to stay alive. You have 3 roles. You have your tank, which is the person in for driving in attacks, trying to keep the attacks off the rest of the group. You have your DPS, which stands for damage per second, by the way. And these are basically your fighters that just deal damage and try to keep themselves alive. And then the third is your healer, who tries to keep the entire group alive. Now, when doing dungeons, and I personally prefer to go with people I know. Because I know how they play, I know what they're capable of, etc. If you use the group finder, it's kind of the luck of the draw type of thing. So really, this is all you do. It's you do quests, you can do battlegrounds, dungeons to level up. You get loot, and you sell, and you can sell off the loot to get better gear, etc. And there are tricks to making money and stuff like that, but at this level, it's not really an option for me yet. So at the very beginning, it's kind of rough, unless you have other tunes that you can send and gold and resources from. But I'm not doing that on this tune because I want you guys to see this as someone who's new to the game and what it's like starting with nothing. The nice thing is at this level, the enemies are neutral until you attack them. So you can walk right by them without worrying about whether they'll attack you or not. Now you'll see where the quest giver is on the map. There's a question mark in yellow. That means I've completed the quest and it's ready to turn in. So I just go back to him. I turn it in, and I get my rewards. I take the next quest, and it gave me a quest to go over here to the hunter trainer. So I turned in that quest, and I get a new skill for hitting level 3, and it wants me to practice the new skill. But to practice a new skill for this quest, I come over to the target or the training dummies, and I just target them and click on the skill. And I have to use it 5 times, which is pretty easy because these guys have quite a bit of capability of staying alive. Now you'll see that I destroyed the target by taking it to 0 hit points. The reason for that, I didn't have to do it, but the reason I did is because my wolf would keep attacking that until I targeted something else. And I wanted my wolf with me. So I complete that quest, and I take the next one. Now, I am gonna stop over here. I'm gonna sell off the items I don't need. And you'll see here they have chain which is red out, meaning I can't use it. So I wanna go to this merchant, and I can pick better armor. Using what money I have. So the chest piece is a little bit better than what I have. The pants isn't as good. I don't have bracers, so I'm gonna pick up bracers. But I'm gonna sell these back because you'll see there's more than one set. And the bottom set is better armor. Okay, the belt is the same. The pants are the same. The boots are better, so I'm gonna pick the boots, but I can't afford them. So what I'm going to use, put on my new armor, sell the other armor. Now I still can't afford anything else, so I'm gonna close that out, and I'm gonna go finish this next quest, which is to talk to this NPC right here. So I complete his quest. I take the next one, and he wants me to kill 8 goblin assassins. But that also opens up a quest from this guy, which wants me to revive 4 soldiers. So I'm gonna go over here, and you see the goblin assassin sneaking around. So I'm gonna kill him. See these wounded NPCs on the bottom or on the ground. When you mouse over them, your icon becomes a fist, and you just right click and it heals them, which completes that quest. I just have to do it 4 times. And in the meantime, I'm also completing another quest by killing the assassins. And now you'll see right behind me, this girl came rushing up, and that's because I attacked an enemy that was within range of the NPC. So sometimes the NPCs will help you out. However, this can also be a drawback because if you're alliance and you go near a herd NPC, they'll attack you. And vice versa, if you're herd and you go near an alliance, the alliance NPCs will attack you. Mainly because the alliance and herd are at war with each other in this MMO. So I am basically just finishing off this quest to kill the goblin assassins. And then that completes both quests. Now you'll see there's a guy that just ran past me with a blue name. And that is another player, which is pretty uncommon in the beginning areas because most people have leveled up and are past the beginning area. So I turn in both quests, and you'll notice I got the gold glow again, which means I leveled up to level 4. And then they send me back to talk to the guy who gave me the first quest. So I will go talk to him. And then the next quest is to recover weapons. And this one gives me a quest to put out fires. And it gives me an extinguisher. Now, quest items that can be used, you'll see an icon next to the quest in the quest tracker. And you can just click on that icon in the right spot to use that item, which is over here. Now you'll see the enemy over here is in red. That means they're hostile. So right from the start, if I go up where they can see me, they'll attack. Instead of being neutral and waiting for me to attack them. Now you'll see that I actually had to click on the loop. And that's because somehow my auto loop's been turned off again. Which happens quite a bit. So my quest using the items to put out these fires. So all I do is left click on the item by the quest, and you'll see it put out the fire pretty much automatically by spraying water. So that's what I need to do for these 2 quests. As it just go around putting out fires and killing these guys until I put out 8 fires and have 8 weapons off of that I loot off of the dead bodies. So pretty easy. I'm basically in no danger at all here. Simply because know the quests. I know the area. Now they could kill me if I pulled too many, but one at a time. Chances are they're not gonna really hurt me. If I do get hurt, I just stop and it recovers my health, which is the green bar under my name and by my portrait. And then the orange bar is basically my age, or my focus, which allows me to use my abilities. On a magic caster, it would be mana. On a paladin, it's divine power. Stuff we're all pretty used to. So as you can see, it's all right for playing by yourself. I I do occasionally enjoy playing, or even playing with friends, but it's to me it's not as much fun as as tabletop RPGs, which really you have more of a social aspect. You have better creativity. A, the storyline and quest lines are better, whereas on these quests it's mostly kill this creature and get these items, talk to this NPC, things along that line. So for for your money, I would say tabletop RPGs are far more entertaining and, and definitely cheaper. Okay, so I took my next quest, but I'm gonna stop here. So I'm gonna go to my game menu. I'm gonna pick exit game, which will log me out. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And then I'm just gonna sit and talk a little bit about out the game. And just like I've been doing. One of the drawbacks to World of Warcraft is it's expensive. They have different expansion packs, which range anywhere from only a $9.99 up to $60. And to keep up with current content, you have to have the new expansion packs. Up to date, I've spent almost $350 just on expansion packs. Give me just a second while I light up a cigarette. And for those who don't smoke, I don't recommend starting. It's an expensive habit. It plus you have other considerations like it makes your clothes smell like smoke. You you can't smoke in a lot of public places, etc. But anyway, I'm kind of diverting from the point here. Now, on top of the expansion packs, you also have to pay $15 a month to play World of Warcraft. Uh, uh, so this can add up if you're a long time player. You'll spend roughly $200 to $300 a year playing. I also spent an extra $6 to get an account authenticator, which is just a little device attached to my account that gives me a 6-digit number. And in order to log into my account every now and then, they'll ask me for that code. Oh, and it's a random code each time you push the button on the device. Like, this helps keep your account secure, that people can't hack into it as without that device. I've had no problems with my account being hacked since I got the device, which is good. Now, there are ways, as I've heard, that you can buy WoW game tokens for gold in the game. So if you really play hardcore, you could farm enough gold and make enough gold in the game and to pay for your monthly play time. But that still doesn't cover the cost of expansions. And this is a newer feature, which is nice because it helps cut down on the cost. But really, let's compare the costs. So say you farm enough gold or to pay for your time. Then the only thing you have to worry about is the new expansions. So $50 to $60 a year isn't bad for endless hours of entertainment. However, compare that to tabletop RPGs. In 30 some odd years of playing various tabletop RPGs, I've spent less than $500 on various books, character sheets, etc. Now, granted, my collection is not huge. I have just a few books that are hard copy. I have some second edition character sheets, etc. And I have some PDFs that I paid for. Now, I also have a large range of PDFs that I got for free, or I pay where I want, through places like DM's Guild or Drive-Thru RPG, etc. So I have over 500 PDFs right now, including core rulebooks for the World of Warcraft 2nd Edition RPG, Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, the DM's Guide, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, Elemental Evil or Companion, Sword Adventure or Coast, or various things that have come out, and a lot of homebrew stuff. Now, within the first 2 years of World of Warcraft, at $15 a month, I paid $300 roughly just for game time. That's almost the entire cost or slightly above half the cost that I paid for in tabletop RPGs in 30 plus years. And I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of both things, but I think the value for your money is in tabletop RPGs. I enjoy playing them more, or if I wish to socialize, because it's more of a social group. It helps me with creativity, and social skills, things of that nature, whereas video games don't really do that for me. So that's kind of my World of Warcraft playthrough for now. I will, before I do the next one, I'll level up to level 10 and then be able to show some of the battlegrounds, the dungeons, and some of the features you get at that level. And then as you level up, you get other features like the raid finder, which is like a dungeon, only it's made of multiple groups instead of just one group. So I hope my viewers found this interesting and kind of refreshing from the normal videos. And I encourage people to do things in moderation. And so if you have free time and you're looking for a way to fill it, perhaps a video game is the route you want to go. So with that being said, may the dice always roll in your favor.